Just recently, Kings Island announced the removal of their Vekoma Flying Dutchman coaster Firehawk. Now, many coaster enthusiasts are speculating as to what will be coming to the park to fill the gap. In today's video, I will be discussing the next 5 years and giving my own opinions to the future of Kings Island. Starting off with 2019, the easiest speculation, because we already know what's coming to the park. Kings Island announced back in August that they will be reviving their antique car ride with new, efficient cars. I don't think much else happening in the park other than that expect Firehawk to be completely removed and the land being worked for future expansions. Okay, so I'm going to be combining 2020 and 2021 together because honestly, this could go either way. We know the park will be getting a new roller coaster, but just not sure if it will be in 2020 or 2021. If we were to look at Cedar Point with Steel Vengeance, Mean Street closed in 2016 and Steel Vengeance didn't open until 2018. Plus, 2020 would make it 3 years since their previous roller coaster. There are 3 reasons as to why I think this project could get pushed off yet another year is number 1, Cedar Point, which is only a few hours away, is expecting to get something for their 150th year anniversary. And it wouldn't make sense for both parks being so close to each other getting massive additions. The next reason, though I don't think holds as much weight, is Busch Gardens. Their park in Williamsburg is supposed to be getting a decent sized attraction in 2020. So maybe Cedar Fair wants to hold off a bit so they're not in direct competition with each other. However, these two parks aren't exactly close to each other, which is why I'm not holding it as much weight as with the other theory. Regardless, though, we will see a new roller coaster in 2020 or 2021. An opposing year will be an off year. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about this new roller coaster. I'm assuming the park will either utilize the former station of Son of Beast or Firehawk. I think the most obvious choice is that they will use the station that occupied Firehawk, as that would be a better placement for the new ride. So what kind of coaster will we see coming to the park? I think there are 3 options. Number 1, the most obvious choice, will be a new Giga Coaster by B&M. Earlier this year, some documentation was released that told us that the park would be working with B&M in the near future. Assuming the document is legit, it's safe to say that whatever this new coaster will be, it will be built by B&M. My next pick is a wing coaster. Since the park is removing a roller coaster with inversions, I could see them wanting to add another roller coaster of the same nature. Personally, I'm not a fan of wing coasters. I feel like they're a flawed concept in some ways, but however, I think they are popular with the GP, which is your primary audience anyways. The wing coaster could be a launch coaster or use a traditional lift hill. I'm leaning towards the lift hill version, but you never know. My final guess, which might seem a little strange, would be a flying roller coaster. I'm sure some of you are scratching your heads as why Kings Island would rip out a flying coaster and replace it yet with another flying roller coaster. Well, B&M coasters are much more reliable and have better layouts. I could see a massive unique flying coaster that goes with the X-Base theming. Again, I'm putting my bets on the Giga Coaster, as pretty much everybody else is. It's what the fans want, they have the space, and it wouldn't directly compete with any new roller coaster that would be going to Cedar Point. Okay, so moving beyond 2020 and 2021, we're now at 2022. In this year, I'm thinking we'll be seeing a new kids area open up to the park. Planet Snoopy, which is located in the right section of the park near Diamondback and Mystic Timbers. It literally feels like miles away from all the other attractions in Action Zone, Coney Mall, and the X-Base area, which is where I think we'll see the new kids section go. Many guests will now be in the X-Base, Coney Mall section of the park with the new roller coaster, so we should have more attractions for the younger kids in that area also. As a parent myself, I can personally say how exhausting it was walking from Firehawk back over to Planet Snoopy, so my daughter could ride another ride. So yes, please, Kings Island, put in more kiddie rides over by the Coney Mall area. Finally, we come to year 2023. This is the year I'm going to be making a bold prediction. This may not be a popular decision, but hear me out. I think in 2023, we'll see a complete retracking and reprofiling of Beast. Let's face it, Beast isn't getting any younger, and the ride is really starting to show its age. It's also one of the most iconic wooden roller coasters in the States, let alone the world. A huge refurbishment, similar to what was being done with Ghost Rider, is what this coaster will need soon to keep it alive for generations to come. Also, a few sections could use some reprofiling. That way, the ride can keep its insane speed throughout the entire journey without being slowed down with all those trim brakes. My next pick, which might even be more controversial, is that we could see Racer RMC'd. Many of us heard the rumors earlier this year that supposedly someone from Rocky Mountain Construction was taking a tour around Racer. It could mean that they're simply giving a new input on a refurbishment of the ride, or even possibly throwing in their bid for a new crazy dueling hybrid coaster. Many might not realize this, but amusement parks bring in many different manufacturers when they are looking at future attractions. It's always wise to get multiple options to cultivate, and it's very possible that this tour was just simply a bid to throw into the pot. Okay, to recap, 2019 we'll be seeing the antique cars, which we already know this. In 2020 or 2021, we'll be seeing a brand new roller coaster from B&M, which will most likely be the Giga Coaster. 2022 is when I'm predicting the park will add a new family kids area, which will be located over by X-Base, the Coney Mall area of the park. 2023 is when I believe they will do a retracking, reprofiling of the Beast and or Racer RMC'd. Well, that is my prediction for Kings Island. What do you think? Will we get a Giga in 2020? Maybe a Rocky Mountain Construction coaster in 2023? Let me know in the comments. Please subscribe, watch more of my videos, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.